There we go. It's happy Thursday. It's happy Thursday. Yes. Are we live? Are we there yet?
We are in fact live.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And Patrick, of course, is always on time, which I really appreciate.
You have to. When you come from the city, 40 minutes early is on time, just in case.
Yes. And you had to charge your car a little bit too, right?
It's a win-win.
See, it's a win-win. Now, did you use the self-driving?
Oh, always. Self-driving. So my car drives itself. And then I had ChatGPT walk me through the main points of what we're going to talk to today. So I was sitting there in the car talking to AI. AI's driving my car. I'm like, what a life. What a future.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, thank you. And let's get going here now. Many of us are carrying commitments, projects, and obligations that no longer serve us. Today, Patrick and I will explore the power of essentialism, the disciplined pursuit of less but better. We're going to learn how to identify what truly matters and confidently let go of the rest. And you will learn about my amazing guest, Patrick Panayotov. Welcome to this episode of Live Beyond Default Livestream. It's your weekly dose of personal growth. My name is Dave.
And I'm Pat.
And this is episode number 99. We are live from the loft in downtown Arlington Heights. We are all growth-minded. We are all self-reflective. Some of us are entrepreneurs. Some of us are employees. Most importantly, we are here to live beyond default, which is a life of design versus a life of neglect. We've all lived a little life of neglect here and there. We're going to challenge each other to raise up our hearts, raise up our minds, and raise up the world with us. So Patrick, you got a quote for us?
I do, and I wrote it down so I don't forget it. And this is a paraphrased quote from the book. It's 25 Lessons for the 25th Century, or 21 Lessons. Yuval Noah Harari. The quote is, "Change is inevitable. You must not only accept change, you must embrace it actively."
Ooh, yeah. Tell me about change. How does that affect you every single day? You've had a lot of changes. We're going to get into that. But what's one thing to start right off the bat that you could share and give people a takeaway? Because we all have our notebooks out or our Apple Notes. What's one thing you could say to the audience about change and how you embrace it versus resist it?
That's a great
We're
question.
We're starting off with a banger here, okay?
It feels like we are wired as a society as a human species, not to accept change because we've never had to adapt to it this quickly. But now with the pace the world is going, it feels counterintuitive, but it forces us to continuously adapt. And reading that on a daily basis allows me to push myself forward in the uncomfortable, because it is going to change and things are going to change. And you see the people that adapt to it the quickest are the ones that succeed. And it's like working out. It's a muscle. It's okay. Well, I don't understand this new version of Claude. Let's figure it out. Let's try it out. Let's push ourselves forward. And you see it with the people you surround yourself with, of when they figure something out, it's not like they went to a school and a class and a thing. They just did it. And that's the interesting part about the world we live in is if you go back 1,000, 2,000 years, whatever your parents did, you're probably going to do, and your kids are going to do. And that seems great, right? Because your life is planned for you. But then 1 year it doesn't rain, the crops die, and you're going to struggle. Yeah. Versus now we have so many options. And it's good that we're talking about essentialism, because you feel like this wave of so many options and you get overwhelmed and you need to cut them out and then find what actually matters and follow that path. So that's what we're going to talk about.
And I love that explanation. And I am so grateful that you are here today, Patrick. This is long overdue. Patrick is
it's right at due. Episode 99. Yeah. It's a great episode.
There you go. And who's grateful for not only Patrick being on here, but who's grateful for what they got going on in their life? If you have something you want to share, drop it in the chat, what you are grateful for. I'm going to say I am grateful for those that I've been surrounded with for the last 5 to 10 years. Like Patrick, I have people in my life that challenge me to be better, that call me out when I play small, and that are just cool people to talk to. Sometimes they call up and just say, hey, even when they have family and business and other things going on. So I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah. Well, we did meet in an interesting way. And I always like to share with people how important it is to still be human. That was the topic of my last episode, is being human again. How do we meet people? Can we actually meet people face to face? So we did meet in an interesting way. Do you remember?
Oh, we met at the Schaumburg Corporate Center, didn't we?
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes, we did. And we also met at the Young Professionals.
Yes.
Yes,
full transparency. When I met Dave, I thought we were around the same age. So whatever his longevity practice is, it's working.
It was a great group, and there Patrick was in it, and but it was really cool how you all embraced me as I was kind of grandfathered in, or let's just say uncled in.
Yes.
I was kind of uncled into the Young Professionals. But I remember when we used to sit in the Schaumburg Corporate Center, and you would come by and you would talk to us. And I remember saying, you know, one of these days, I'm going to be working with this guy. And one of these days, you're going to be in our mastermind. We were running a mastermind.
And that was really cool. Yes. Dave put together a mastermind that he brought me into, and the ideas and just lifelong friendships now with Sean, Nate. It's just, you met some really cool people. And Dave's one of those super connectors. There are people out there that know a lot of people. And when somebody joins the SBA, I always recommend talk to Dave, because he has, how many connections would you say? Thousands? Tens of thousands?
Thousands. There's definitely only a certain amount. I mean, they say that the brain can really only handle, 150 or 160?
Close connections. But
close connections,
you could still keep a tab on thousands of people.
Yeah. Yeah. And we can apply essentialism to the people that we know.
Correct.
And and who's in our group. So, Patrick, tell us about your young side. And what I mean by that is, like, where did you grow up? I don't even remember where you grew up. What was it like growing up? And most importantly, what is something that you learned or that you vividly remember from growing up that you're now applying in your life that you think is essential?
Oh, great question. So I grew up, born and raised in Chicago, born downtown, moved out to Wheaton, then Elk Grove most of my life, around the Schaumburg area. Went to Conan High School, so in the area and back, which is fantastic. Growing up, what were the interesting things in my life? Well, my parents were immigrants. They came in their 20s. So my grandparents came and helped raise me with my parents, and everybody spoke Bulgarian. So my first language was Bulgarian. Then I spent a lot of summers in Bulgaria, which I feel like that dynamic helped a lot, because you saw this at that time. Bulgaria was post-communism, but still this Eastern European approach and mindset. So you got a different dynamic than the US. And you realize how easy the US is in many ways, how it's built for consumers, how there's competition, how all of that forces us to adapt and move quickly, versus in Bulgaria, it was this very intellectual base and population, but the structures and government and everything still moved very slowly, that it is challenging at times. And it's cool going back. We just got back from a 2-week trip to Bulgaria with my wife and daughter, which was priceless. It was, I mean, the core of life. It was so nice. We got to see my cousins, and their daughters are now 6 and they're growing up, and it's incredible. But just seeing and understanding, and it's so important to understand that the world is different, and depending on where you're born, your life can be completely different. It's a core piece of who we are. So that part of my life, being young and being able to experience that, not by choice, but by design, was a big, big factor for me.
And do you still have family in Bulgaria?
Yeah. Cousins, my grandpa's there. He's going to come over. We're working we have 3 team members out of Bulgaria. It was one of their wedding, Martin. And we got to see him and celebrate with him, which meant a lot to all of us. So we work with individuals in Bulgaria. My cousins are there. We have another business out of Bulgaria. So it's a good connection. And now with Zoom, Skype, not Skype, sorry. That was when I was a kid. We would Skype each other. Skype is gone. With Zoom and Teams.
Do you still have a MySpace account?
I don't have a MySpace. Okay. I did hold on to my Skype account because that was the only way my grandpa's tablet was set up with Skype, and I knew how to reach him. So until the day where they turned it off, I was like, I'm still using this. So we had to switch to Viber, but it's fantastic. It's cool to be able to interact that quickly. And I mean, when I was a kid, my parents would send me there for 2 months with phone calls. Like there was no video messaging. So I would come back and my grandma would give me French fries and baked dough every morning and Nutella for 2 months. So I came back 10 pounds heavier. My parents were like, who's this kid coming off the plane? Like right now, you have no sense of like what your kid's going through until you see him.
Oh gosh.
But now it's just so cool to go back and just be a part of just a world that I grew up in.
Yeah. And with that world that you grew up in, do you notice that there's any sort of traditions or habits that are still being held on to, let's say, by that older immigrant mentality, and maybe they don't serve right now? And that's not to say anything about Bulgaria, just in general, right? You're seeing like two different worlds. You said.
Well, it's interesting because when you go to Europe, I hear this quote, and I can't attribute it to an exact word, maybe Scott Galloway, where it's make your money in the US, go spend it in Europe. Because here it's go, work, get to work early, put in the hours, but everybody's doing it. So it really, you can make a very crucial difference very quickly, because if you're surrounded by hard workers and you work with businesses and business owners that are hard workers, everybody grows and succeeds at a very quick pace, but it is incredibly intense. Versus in Bulgaria, I mean, we were in my dad's hometown of Rusay Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. During the day, I mean, you would not have known that it was a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. People are at the cafe early. People are getting breakfast, like we're getting lunch. I was very thankful. My family does have very rigid work schedules that they're able to take off and spend time with us. But by and large, it was a very, hey, we work to live, not live to work. So it's a different mindset, and it's a different paced mindset, which is still okay. But I think you can get some of that in the US, but it's more difficult to go to a place where most of the population is in a more casual work environment, and you come in with the go mentality.
I can see that. And it's almost like it's set up here in a way where you have to intentionally slow down.
Yes. Now, I've never worked in Bulgaria, but what I've heard from my parents is, what I really appreciate about the SBA is there's a new member orientation every few months.
Schaumburg Business
Association, yes. And you walk in and there's 30 to 50 entrepreneurs, business owners with a dream, and they're coming from different places, different backgrounds, and everybody in that room's, how can I help you? What do you, it's just motivational, positive. It's crazy to see how many different people have started businesses where they're going to make an impact in the community, versus what I've heard. Again, I haven't experienced this, is in Bulgaria, there's very stable jobs, and entrepreneurship is more looked at as, why would you start a company that's high risk? Why wouldn't you just keep your job and continue on? So it's a little bit of a different approach.
Okay.
But it is cool to see that dynamic and understand, hey, there are different. Now, I will say, this is one of the cool things about visiting Bulgaria early on in my childhood. Here, everything is structured, right? When you're a kid, you have an Xbox, you go to the theater to watch movies. Bulgaria, very rugged and forward thinking in terms of, my cousins had computers. I showed up and they're like, what movie do you want to watch? We have all the movies. That's when torrenting was a thing. I think.
Yeah, torrenting, BitTorrent, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, Kazaa.
And you see these like approaches of, with a computer, you're able to do so much, where here you have this like, oh, everything's easy for me, so why would I think outside of the box? Versus in Bulgaria, it's, with one computer, you could think outside of, all of the boxes. It was cool to see that different approach and say, oh, there's more to what we're doing with technology than I'm used to.
Almost like it's challenging to be more resourceful.
Yes.
At times. Yeah. Whereas here, it's so obvious and in front of us that maybe we have to.
It's easy. It's like, okay, well, I need something. I'll just call somebody. Oh my God. So, okay, I'll give you an example. So this is, again, a microcosm of Bulgaria, but there everybody's very hyper-focused on like, why would you spend more to make not your life easier, but why would you spend more if you don't have to? But here everything's tailored to like, just pay more and you could do whatever you want. So rental cars. Here, you could drop your rental car off, no gas. They'll fill it up. They'll charge you an extra $20. You move on with your life there. And this is like Eastern Europe, the roads, you leave the airport, it's a roundabout into like 3 lanes of traffic. It's crazy. It's super hectic. I'm driving a stick shift car. And this time I planned ahead, but the previous time it's my wife and I, and I'm like, we barely make it out of this roundabout. And I come back at the end of the trip, We drop the car off at the airport and it has no gas in it. I'm like, listen, I'll pay whatever not to put our lives at risk again. Walk in and I drop the keys off and I'm like, we have no gas in the car. And the guy's like, oh, go fill it up. I'm like, I'll just, whatever it is, I'll pay it. Like, let's just move on. He's like, what do you mean? The gas station's right there. And I'm like, the gas station is through like 2 roundabouts.
Yeah.
And it's like 20 minutes to get there, fill it up and come back. I'm like, it'll be an extra, the price discrepancy's great for Americans. It was an extra $6. I'm like, it's an extra $6. Like, let's just do it. But it was that mindset was interesting to see with in Bulgaria coming in with an American mindset of like, every single thing here is, well, if you want it, you can get, we'll build it for you. You could pay for it. It's a very interesting dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder how that dynamic plays throughout the years as we grow up and growing up in these different times. Like, how is that dynamic different for your parents versus your family members that you still have in Bulgaria? And then now you here and now with your daughter.
Yes.
How does that play forward? It's interesting to think about.
Yeah, that is a deep question. I will have the answer on episode 1,299 in a few years. I'll come back with an answer.
I appreciate that. So let's dive into essentialism. What does it mean to you, and how are you applying it in your life? And let's just talk about it in general, because I'm super interested in this subject, and I know that you have a lot going on, and I always admire how you stay focused on a task at hand, and how you, instead of like you're juggling things, you seem to be more intentional about things. And I don't think it's just like the way you put yourself out there. I think when I see you and when I talk to you, like, I get it. Like, Patrick has ways of focusing. So talk about essentialism, talk about your life with that. And then we'll dive more into your family and other areas.
Yeah. So essentialism, just grounding ourselves. It's a book. It's a great book. I think Dave actually has it. I read this book, what was it, 5 years ago? I think based on maybe even Dave's recommendation. And great book, right? You read it, you take some notes, you move on with your life. A few months ago, I was, overwhelmed. For reference, took the helm leadership of Proceed Innovative, our family's digital marketing company, officially 4 months ago, unofficially a year and 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But that responsibility was coming ahead. There was a new business with my cousins and I that we started, where Dial Mind. We focus on AI call centers. That's been growing successfully. And I have a 9-month daughter and a happy, healthy wife and happy, healthy parents. So family engagements. Oh, and we're looking for a home. So that was a few months ago as well, which we're in the midst of closing on a home. So all of that coming to a head. And if you feel it in your just arteries and bones and face, when you're overwhelmed, you just know, you wake up and it's this like stressed environment. And I'm a big believer in the universe has a way to give us what we need. And my friend Jason at a coaching program, we were just writing down everything we were working with. And I was like just going to town on this list of like, oh, this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And he's like, and he runs a financial advisory company out of the East Coast around Philadelphia. If that's not correct, sorry, Jason. But he said that he built a business where he could step away from it, and he has people that do everything crucial in the business so he can focus on what's essential to him.
Okay.
And I was like, I need to sit down and figure this out. And he's like, it took a dedicated year where he was delegating every single thing until it was done to somebody else and figuring out what really mattered. So bringing it all together, he recommended the book again. I reread it recently. It's just a fantastic read in terms of if you're feeling overwhelmed, the takeaways from it. It's not that long of a read, but it helps you ground yourself and what's actually important. So you're not sitting here with a billion things on your to-do list. You can actually sit back and say, okay, what's important? And I'm saying no to everything else.
Saying no to everybody else and everything else. High achievers and high performers like us, even when we're not achieving or we're performing at our highest, we're all doing the best we can with what we have. Yeah. And I say that regularly on this live stream. Think about this though. There is so much out there that really doesn't matter. I believe that when we look at what we're actually doing throughout the day, probably, I'm going to use the 80-20 rule, probably 80% of what we're doing really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Really doesn't matter. We think it matters, but it really doesn't. How do you let go of those things, tasks, people that you think really matter, but they don't? How do you let go of that?
I wouldn't recommend my strategy, but it's usually get overwhelmed, feel overwhelmed, start eliminating everything, and then repeat. In terms of just day-to-day strategies, though, I've found that finding what really matters and staying true to that is the number one rule. So, I mean, right, if somebody told me right now you need to fly to Thailand, it would be an easy thing to say no to. It's like, well, why would I? Like, I have a family, I have responsibility. I'm not going to go there. It's beyond what I'm willing to do. But if somebody says, hey, can you drive 20 minutes to drop something off? Now you're like, well, do I have 20 minutes? And it's technically, it's a very similar approach, but it's you treat it differently because you think to yourself, well, I have this time. So what I've been practicing, because I'm not an expert at this, what I've been practicing.
None of us are experts at any of this.
No,
we're just practicing
we're learning
every day.
Because you get tested with new things. Is what is the core piece of what I need to do? And it always starts with, is my wife happy and is my daughter happy? If that gets nailed, everything else is a bonus. And then we go from there, right? So we have daughter and wife happy and healthy, myself happy and healthy. And these aren't just, I'm not coming up with these on the spot. These are written down. I look at these once a month. My daughter and wife are happy and healthy. I'm happy and healthy. Our parents are happy and healthy. And then from there, it's okay, Proceed is taken care of and we're organized and we're happy and healthy. Dial Mind is taken care of. My friends, I'm meeting with them. I'm seeing them. I'm going to social events. You could layer it in. So if any piece of your foundation is impacted, let's say my daughter was sick 3 weeks ago. And this was actually a good, I feel like the universe has a way of bringing us what we need. I was working really hard. I hadn't spent as much quality time with my daughter as I'd like, because she goes to bed at 7. I get home at 6. And then all of a sudden we get an alert from our daycare of, hey, there's hand, foot, and mouth breakout at the daycare. FYI. And my wife goes, we should keep our daughter home. I'm like, perfect. I looked at my calendar and it's a very easy way to say, well, my daughter might not be healthy. We have to start there. So moved everything around, spent a whole day at home with her. It was a fantastic day. She got it a little bit, but avoided the severity of it, which was fantastic. But that helps ground my approach to life of, here's the things that are the most important. Okay. That are the non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables. And the priorities.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And when you were describing those priorities of, is my wife happy, healthy? Yeah. Is my daughter happy, healthy? Am I happy, healthy? When you describe those, it almost looked like you were doing this like it's on a list.
It's on a list. It's on an Excel. I love Excel. I love it. I love KPIs.
Why does that?
Everything is tracked. But it is on an Excel of, when you started out, I had a good mentor that said, hey, if you're not sure what's essential, don't think about, okay, what's the most important thing in my life? Just sit down and write down, what are all of the important things in your life? And I steal this strategy from strategic coach Dan Sullivan. They do a great job of write it all down and then circle, because when it's all on the piece of paper, then you stop monkey braining, busy brain. You write it all down and then you circle the things that are the most important because you see them relative to one another. Okay. And then it's easy to say, okay, what is actually the most important thing? So if I do this strategy when I'm buzzing out, write it all down. And then you say, okay, I only have time for 3 of these. Because then you could say, oh, well, I don't have time to drive 20 minutes and drop something off. A good example is Father's Day is coming up. And my wife and I made a dedicated decision. It's my first Father's Day. We are going to spend the whole Sunday together, which means that we're not driving out to see my parents or her parents. And they knew this ahead of time. But we were able to coordinate different strategies, approaches, hangouts with our parents on Saturday, which worked for them. It worked for us. And now Sunday, right? Essentialism, the whole day is for us. We have the perfect day planned. I'm excited for it. But the takeaway, let's bring it all together because I love to just go on tangents. The takeaway for me is it doesn't happen, but if you plan accordingly, it can happen, but you need a plan for it. You need to be very aware of what is essential in your life and stick to it.
And when you're sticking to what's essential, like how many things do you narrow it down to? Because I've been told before that if you have more than 3 priorities, you have no priorities at all.
Yeah.
So how do you prioritize?
Oh, I'll give you a microcosm here. AI is
I had a feeling that was
moving fast. Here's the microcosm.
Yeah.
AI is moving fast. Everybody's buzzing out about it. What should I do? How do I do this? And I found the strategy that works for me is, again, write it all down. And then there's a above the line, below the line. I forgot the book. You gave it to me. What's the book where it's like you're above the line or you're below the line?
Oh, that's not the 15 of the leadership?
Yes.
Is it
that one? Yeah.
That's a great book.
So I just stole that strategy in terms of, okay, here's the 30 things I could be doing with AI. I'm putting a physical line on I use Asana, and I have 3 things above the line and everything else is below it.
And what does above the line and below the line mean?
Those are the focus areas. 3 things that I can focus on.
Okay.
And then everything else is below it. So I hear, hey, AI can design your pamphlet. Okay, well, I'll add it below the line because it's something it could do, but it's not as important as it can automate my X, it can streamline my Y, and focusing on those 3 things really helps, relax in a way things, because now it's okay. Well, now I've built out a system where AI every week looks at my calendar, gives me who I'm meeting with, gives me notes on them based on my emails and Asana and Zoom notes. And I was able to nail that because it was above the line. It was a focus area versus,
okay,
you're doing 5% of 20 things. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed because nothing's getting finished.
Right.
And everything's evolving. It's like, no, let's do 50% of one thing.
And on that note, which is such a cheesy line, but it makes me think though. So 50% of one thing. Okay, couple things. Number one, it sounds like it could be a little bit robotic to me at times. Are you saying to me are you sharing with us that this structure is what fosters and really creates the space for the things that are important in your life?
It is robotic, but it allows the same thing with, if you look at my calendar, it's and this is something I'm actively working on.
Which calendar do you use?
I use Outlook for work and then Google for personal.
Okay.
But I don't, Google for personal is like the monthly view where it's like 1 or 3 things per day.
Okay.
Work is structured where it's hour per hour. What I try to do is block hours to say, hey, this is a structured time to do X, learn about AI, implement the system. But then within that hour, you have the full freedom to do whatever you want.
Okay.
I'll give another example. Budgeting. People say budgeting is so structured. It's going to put me in this box. Well, if you budget correctly, because I was always a hyper saver, and budgeting correctly allows me to put a certain amount of money in the fund bucket where now I could do whatever I want with that amount of money.
Yes.
Full freedom with no guilt.
Yes.
At the same time, it is a structured approach to be unstructured.
A structured approach to be unstructured. I absolutely love that. And I'm gonna chime in with the budget, because there were years where I was the opposite. I was a hyper earner and I was also a hyper spender. So on the other side of it, budgeting for me with that fun bucket, it made me realize that once I put these structures in and I adhere to them throughout the week, which I do, and I actually meet with a bookkeeper twice a month. She's out of Atlanta.
That's fantastic.
While we're doing that, it makes me realize that, yes, that structure puts that fun bucket and allows me to be unstructured. And I actually realize like how much money I really have. Yeah. And it's amazing when you look at that, and then I don't really need to spend much to be happy. Yeah. It doesn't really cost a lot of money to be happy. It's more from the heart. I love that. So
if you want, just a quick tangent, if you want to do something interesting, and now you could do this with AI versus when I was doing it, just hardcore Excel, pull all of your credit card expenses for the last 12 months and ask AI to analyze them, give you where you're spending your most money, but the single places you spent your most money. I could give you examples of my own.
When you say pull them, what does that mean? Am I copying and pasting? Am I throwing spreadsheets in AI? Like, what does that mean?
I think your credit card can give you just, here's an Excel sheet.
Or
you could like download all your statements.
Okay.
Or
and then upload them into
Claude.
Into Claude or
ChatGPT. Yeah, ChatGPT.
Okay.
But look at where you've spent your most money. And then for me, the important thing is, do I remember that as a memorable moment, right? If I spend, my wife and I went out to a restaurant a month after her daughter was born. She slept the entire time. We had a delicious, incredible time. The number one thing I spent, like the single one item that I spent the most on last year was that dinner. And I remember that, that was a clear moment for me. That was an incredible moment for me.
Yeah, that's
but
powerful.
There were other things on that list where, right, you could see like, oh, I'm spending X or Y, or I spent an average. And now don't look at the total number, average it out per month. But if you say, oh my God, I'm spending so much on this and I can't even remember it, like you go, right, everybody likes to harp on like your daily latte. But if you really value that, you're good. If you treat it as like, oh, I need to go and get it and it's just part of my day and it's a routine and I actually don't really like it. And it's all of these things of you don't even appreciate it anymore. That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Excel, I love it. But analyzing and looking backwards, I do the same thing with my journaling of at the end of the year, you could sit down and read through and see what pieces of your year really mattered. Because then you can prioritize those for the next year and the next year. And it becomes this revolving cycle of, am I putting more time into the things that I theoretically in the past have valued, right?
Yes.
Dinner with my wife and daughter, vacations, time just outside of work, sitting at home on a Monday afternoon, something random where you might not think about it ahead of time. But then when you actually look back at your years, you're like, oh, wow, this was actually like, this helped me build. So based on all of these notes, again, this wasn't a one day thing. This has been a culmination. My wife and I figured out our perfect approach to the perfect day has to start with some activity that is slightly challenging or pushes us right in the morning.
In the morning, okay.
In the morning, because my most memorable days, to my chagrin, have been in South Africa and in Scottsdale. Both of them, my wife decided to do some hike that was beyond what's Scottsdale, what's the Camelback?
Camelback Mountain.
I'm not a hiker, by the way. I'm not a hiker. I had gym shoes on. My wife's like, let's go hike Camelback. I'm like, whatever. What is it going to take, an hour? What was it? I think maybe it was, I don't know. It was not that easy. And the South Africa one was crazier because I kid you not, there are chains and like you had to like climb the side. I'm like, I'm holding on to the side of a mountain with chains. And I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, this, we could have gone to like a 5-star dinner with our friends or 5-star lunch on the seaside. And instead I'm like, I'm hanging on for dear life. But those moments you come back and you're like, okay, now I did something memorable, and it locks it into your memory for the rest of your life. And you think back to those moments. So that's just one piece of what's essential for us, right? You find the little pieces that make a true difference for you.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. You said so much there. There's a couple things that I wanted to point out though. Number one, you said something about memorable times. And instead of just doing the same old thing, like that dinner last year where you were with your wife and your daughter slept the whole time and you might have dropped 500 or 750, whatever it is. You dropped a lot of money on it, but it wasn't really that. To you, it was like an investment. It was an investment in your life, and it's something that you remember. Did you notice that we remember more and time actually seems to slow down when we are doing something that's different from the usual? Yeah. Instead of the same old, like when you look back at the last week, how many things do you actually remember?
Well, I'll start with, we had an 8-hour flight with a 9-month-old. So that was very memorable. Okay. There was, my daughter's been waking up at 4 a.m. So we've hung out, right? Quality family time at 4 a.m., which is very memorable. And then there's certain pieces of your day at work, right? Those are the essential pieces of, hey, this meeting made a difference. This call made a difference. We're looking back, it does help to journal because it's so much of it is lost within 7 days that when you write it down, and I do little stars next to the things that really stood out for me, right? You could flush it out in a journal, but star the things that really you want to look back at and quickly analyze at the end of the year. Those are the things that stand out. So it's not that many things, right? 80-20, 80% of things. Like I'm watching AI training videos on the way home from work. Like those all mesh together. I'm listening to podcasts. Like those all mesh together. What are the truly memorable things? Getting home and seeing my family. Yeah.
And that's part of it is, are we every day, every week, just doing the same thing?
Yes.
Are we taking the same route to work every time?
It feels like you need to be intentional with, hey, I want to be essential with what I want. You need to know what that is first and then eliminate everything else.
Yes.
Because it's easy to say no to everything. But I found that's not practical because you're not going to say no to your parents if they want to see you. You're not going to say no. Right. If we were in the digital marketing space, in the AI call center space, if something breaks, our clients trust us to fix it. I can't just sit there and say, oh no, I'm essential, I can't fix it. But I can say, if I was on vacation for 2 weeks and we delegated things, we had a very clear process of, if this client reaches out, you like, here's the checklist before you reach out to me. That's essential, because then I don't get a phone call. Our team fixes it. Our client is happy, but it's all coming from a place of planning instead of a place of, you give up your phone, you move to Vail, and you don't talk to anybody. That's not a practical approach for many of us.
Well, you spoke something a few times. Really, really important. You keep mentioning these important parts, whether it's these essential times of your week, whether it's with your daughter, with your wife, maybe something that happened well at the office at Proceed. What is the big picture of what lights you up? And what I mean by
this is a simple quote: growth and personal development.
Okay.
I see every day is, if I can learn something new, if I can evolve, we're very fortunate to live in a world where we can grow every single day. Like, I'm not in a position where it's 2,000 years ago, I might work a job and there's no, even if I wanted to, like, I'm stuck in that position and I'm doing that for the rest of my life. I can't fly anywhere. I can't move any. Now we have an unlimited amount of choice, which buzzes everybody out. So I just focus on, am I getting better at the things that I want to get better at? Is our team happier? Are our clients happier? Are we generating more results for them? Is the company growing? Is Proceed growing? Now we have Dial Mind. Are we growing with the AI call? We're doing 1,000 calls a week with AI receptionists. Is that growing? Is my relationship with my wife and daughter growing? Which is a lot easier now when you could see a child evolve so quickly. Spending time with them and seeing that is crucial. So are we, at the end of the day, is there something I could point to say, yes, I got better, or something developed?
Something beyond than when you woke up.
Yeah.
And do you reflect on your day at the end of each day?
I do at the end. I just have a journal next to my bed.
So you reflect on your day.
Yeah.
And then are you clear on what you're going to do the next day? Do you put down a few things the night before?
A year ago, I would say I was better at this. Now we're recouping that approach, right? I have a list of to-dos that need to get done, but this is where the Essentialism book came in, of refocusing our efforts on what actually matters. So it is a constant, right? Things expand, contract, and just finding a balance. So yeah. Wait, before we move forward, what are your essential things?
Ooh, that is a great question. And I appreciate the question. So my purpose and my mission is to leave people better than I found them on a daily basis. And the way that I do that is by having conversations with others. And what am I doing in these conversations? I'm listening to understand versus listening to respond. I'm being fully present. And lastly, really, really important for me is I have no outcome dependence. So when we're talking here, I don't want anything. I don't need anything from you. I'm just here to listen and be curious. And when I frame my day through that lens, when I look at my day through that lens, my doing comes from a place of being. So my KPIs that doing comes from a place of leaving people better than I found them. So whether I'm talking to a listing client or a buyer client, or if I'm doing a social media post, or I'm meeting somebody at the coffee shop or at a networking event, I'm continuously coming from that frame of doing from a place of being.
Okay.
And that's really how I structure. That's what's essential to me. Now, most importantly, it's leaving myself better than I found myself that day.
Okay.
So that goes along with what you said. Am I challenging myself? Have I grown? Have I moved forward in the areas that are important to me? So first, I'm leaving myself better every day than when I woke up. Then I can abundance, take that cup, it overflows. Then I can share that with other people. I don't know why else I'm getting up in the morning. Like this morning, the only little bit of real estate was on my mind because I've got many deals going on right now. But most important, I was like, okay, Patrick. Even when I went to bed last night, I'm dreaming Patrick. But before I went to bed, I was visualizing being in the loft here, being in the living room, right? Sitting on the blue chairs with you, and like, how is that going to go? And how is Patrick going to be in a good mood? Of course he is. But then I like got out of my head and I got more into my heart. So that's why the KPIs are so important for me, because as you know, when you're eating something or when you're going for that half-hour walk or you're making that phone call or you're learning AI, for me, it might be having conversations. I do a lot of role play in real estate. So it's either with other agents or with AI. And doing role play with AI is awesome.
It works really well. I did it on the car ride here, just getting ready for the conversation.
Oh, it's fire. And not only that, but what I love about it is it comes back and says, here's what you did great. Here's what you didn't do so well. And moving forward, frame it this way the next time. Like it's really, and it records all the calls and everything. It's really a neat system. So for me, it really is just leaving people better than I found them. And to ultimately do that, it's leaving myself better than I found myself that morning. Just a little bit better every day.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. And then
it feels like that's where the challenges of both of our visions and goals are subjective, right? Because better is subjective. There's no measurable outcome to it. But that it's connecting. What are the things you can connect to it? Because a lot of people start their year and they're like, I want to be healthier. I want to lose weight. But losing weight, again, is a subjective. Like, do you want a pound, 20 pounds? Let's say you lose 20 pounds, but it's all muscle. Like, that's horrible. Connecting objective metrics. And this is why Dave makes fun of me for the KPIs, because I found early on, if I'm left to my own devices, I'm not a generally happy person. I'll find things that are wrong, or I'll gravitate towards this is it's good, but it's not great. It's great, but it's not perfect. And then if I put metrics towards these subjective approaches, right? I mean, when I met Dave, I had read maybe 5 books in my life. And I mean, I got through high school with Spark Notes, like the dream. Now kids have ChatGPT, but oh my God, I remember. I'm just going to take it. I remember. So Spark Notes were a thing, right? You'd read Spark Notes. And then the dream came senior year when popular books had videos. So they had like I'm like, I don't even have to read the description. Like I could just watch the video.
Take notes here.
By the way, if you're in high school, this was my trick to doing well in AP English nonetheless. Don't generalize the Spark Notes, but find 1 or 2 things that are critical in the book that you can apply to any theme, because the questions are usually like, give me an example of some point in the book where this happened. And if you have 2 really good examples of like concrete things that happen, then you can nail the essays, because you just have to apply it of like, what did this theme happen in this book? This is my little tangent to all of the kids out there.
That's all right. We'll get back to. So what you were saying was.
What I was saying was, the goal of aligning your subjective, right? I want to be a better dad. Yes. I want to be a better person, to objective metrics of, okay, well, in order to do that, I need to spend, and some people might find this pretty direct, but right, I want to be a more learned human being. Okay, well, my goal is read 40 books a year. And in order to do that, I need to read at least 4 times a week. Those are metrics that I set for myself. So then I could look back at the end of the week and subjectively say, did I read this much? Sorry, objectively say, did I read this much or did I not? Did I finish 3 point whatever books per month or not? Yeah. And then that way, at the end of the year, I could say, okay, well, I did become this person because of these very objective metrics that I set for myself.
Objective metrics. And the challenge with that is, which I find, and I know that the audience finds this too, is like, let's say the community. The community finds it the same way because the scoreboard lags. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, how do you deal with that? And what I mean by the scoreboard lagging is you might be taking a walk every day. You might be reading 10 pages a day. That's such an easy one. Like, you want to read more? And like you said, objective and subjective, you want to read more? You don't have to read as much as Mr. KPI here. What you could do is just read 10 pages a day. you are guaranteed to be a better human being. 10 pages a day is 1 book a month, and it's 12 books a year. Most people don't read 12 books from the time they graduate college or get out of high school until they're in their 50s. Like, total, they don't read 12
Dave
books.
told me that, and it scared me because he was right. I had read 5 books total at that point. I was 24, 25.
You've read 5 books total.
Oh, it was,
And think about that. And I think it's even getting worse because we're in such an ephemeral society where everything is in a short clip. Everything is so quick. How do you actually sit down with a book that's made of paper and read a page and turn that page? And next thing you know, you're like, oh, I'm only on page 15. Look at all this. I got more to do. Like, it's challenging to do in this world. Yeah. Being intentional about it. If that's essential to you to be that person that you are becoming, right? Yeah. Be the person now that you're becoming. We like to say invest in your future self, borrow from your future self. I like to say invest. But the objective and the subjective going. And
that's, I mean, if we're going to boil it down, that is where you could put your focus into. If you want to do something subjective, I want to be a better person, it's connecting it to an objective metric. What does that actually mean? And that's, I mean, the best businesses can most directly point to, they want to do something right. They have their mission statement. They have we want to make the world a better place. We want to change the world. All of these up at pie in the sky things, but then they have very objective, well, we need to nail these things. And these are not question marks. These are not, okay, we have no idea how to we measure it on a daily basis and we nail it.
Yeah. Well, nailing those, when you see all these KPIs every day, you keep talking about nailing it, and it's easier said than done. How in this world of distractions do you stay focused? How do you, what I call monotask? Yes. How do you actually sit down and there's 10 other things going on? How do you actually sit down and do one thing?
Oh, that is a good question.
For 30 minutes or 45 minutes, or like the study in the 1950s says, it's actually 75 minutes where our brains are wired evolutionary to actually sit down and focus on something for 75 minutes without anything else. How do you do that when everything is pulling us away? And you grew up with the mini supercomputer in your hand. I didn't.
Well, no, Razor phones until iPod Touches came out when I was in junior high.
Okay.
But that was still like monkey ball was the main thing. We got lucky because, and it's going to get worse.
You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying. You
distractions are only going to get more hyper focused towards us.
I mean, is that even possible?
I mean, yeah, you drive past, right now we're working with a business that has digital, right? You go to Whole Foods or you go to a store and it has it's not a paper ad anymore. It's a digital ad. And there are cameras behind those ads that can see what the attention is. Did somebody stop? Did somebody get engaged? And then it's going to be a very easy next step of, there's Pat, and I know he likes X product, and I'm going to show him that product. So now everything is going to be tailored towards, right, your exact taste, which is crazy. Yeah. How do we do it? I'm not sure if this is the best answer, but the answer I have is if it's an activity I enjoy doing, it's like, you're going to stay, if you have an activity you enjoy doing, you naturally can stay focused on it because it's something you enjoy doing.
You don't enjoy. It's one you don't enjoy. Yeah. There are things that we do throughout the day that we don't enjoy.
Interesting.
Right?
Give me an example.
I'm going to give you an example. The boring in real estate. People are watching television. They're watching HGTV. They're watching Selling Sunset.
Yeah.
Not how it is. It's not how it is. Most of the time, or for sure half of the day, I am alone with blinders on, making phone calls. Now, again, I'm doing the KPIs from a place of being, leaving people better than I found them. I love what I do. At the same time, there are still things that are boring and mundane. And I am always told that if you can deal with the boring, you could deal with the mundane, you could get into that monotasking mode, that's where you will be successful.
I have a slightly different approach of Dan Sullivan.
And I want to learn.
Strategic coach. his focus has always been, we have things that are our unique ability that we love doing, that we're designed to do, and for example, my unique ability is talking to business owners. I could talk to business owners all day, help them achieve their goals, learn about their business. I love talking to business owners. What I don't love is clearing out my email.
Okay.
I don't love I hate scheduling.
Okay.
Are you free Monday from 7 to 9? No, I'm free Tuesday from 3 to 6. It's not so, I mean, again, it took me 3 years to get here, but hire a strategic assistant. And their number one goal is I got back from vacation. It was like 6 emails total. Everything was scheduled already, right? So I never have to schedule anything. And she's fantastic. She follows up. She does a great job. Shout out to Clarice. She is, I mean, truly the first time I came back from vacation and I had like 5 emails, a tear came to my, I used to come back from vacation. It was 800 emails.
Oi.
And it was, and again, it's like 80% of those are FYI or a newsletter and I'm like, there's truly 6 emails that really need me.
Wow.
And finding those things and starting to vary. And again, Jason from HFM Advisors was very concrete in terms of he spent a full year writing down everything that he didn't like doing and finding a solution, right? We live in the age of AI. AI can do whatever you need now. You have team members you could delegate to, or you can eliminate it. I think that's the scariest thing of people say, well, I need to do this. And it's asking yourself, I mean, what's a good example of something I eliminated? Something I am eliminating is I live downtown. I work in the suburbs. Traffic has gone to some days like an hour and 50 minutes one way. Crazy.
Welcome to Chicagoland.
Crazy. So I'm taking my talents out to Glen Ellen. We're moving in a month. That's going to make my commute from an hour and 50 minutes to 18 minutes. I eliminate. Like that is a huge difference in my life.
Yeah.
But it's something that I was joking with. We have a entrepreneur training class MZ's putting on down the street from us. And transparently, I told MZ the number one criteria for me during the day is this a 5-minute drive or less? Because it could be the world's best training, but if it's 20 minutes, I'm not getting back in the car because I need to go there. I need to come back. I already know I hate driving.
Yeah.
Thank God for autopilot, by the way. But it's these things of there are things everybody doesn't like doing in their job. And if you don't find a solution for it, you're going to just do it again and again and again. I truly think there are things we love doing, and then we can eliminate everything else. Or at least get close to it. I mean, I think the target is 80%. I'm probably at 50% of my unique ability. But when I started doing this, I was at 20%, maybe closer to 10.
Oh, so that's a big shift.
It's a big shift, but it's 4 years in the making of, okay, how can I implement this piece? How can I do this? Is this truly essential?
Yep. How can I implement? Now, when you put it that way, I am doing mostly what I love.
Yeah.
I am doing mostly what I love. And I want to say a shout out to Stephanie is she got me into Claude.
Yeah.
We took everything out of OpenAI. We threw it into Claude. And essentially, Claude is
automated your life.
Well, we're working on it
yes.
now, to now where it's becoming not necessarily a consultant, but in a way like, how am I running efficiently my personal and my professional life?
Yeah.
And then, of course, on the real estate. Now, you said you have an assistant. Is that assistant local or overseas?
Philippines.
In the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Which also works really well because it showed me, this was one of the most important pieces of when I started working with Clarice. It showed me I couldn't explain a lot of it, right? I want my emails to be efficient. And she's like, oh, what does that mean? I was like, I don't know. We had to sit down. And this is where the power of AI can come is I want to do this, help me do it. And AI will help you get there. But a lot of us don't know what's in between. One of the skills I'll share with you after is, I don't know where to find it, but Claude has a skill where it essentially the core of the skill is you suck at prompts. So every time you ask me to do something, I'm going to ask you 4 follow-up questions.
Okay.
And it just helps clarify, hey, okay, what do you need? What does good mean? Where do I start? It pretty much. And you can build the skill yourself. But
it's so true. Yeah.
It's a great way to say, hey, if you don't give me any more information, I'm going to kind of shotgun this approach versus here's 4 questions of like, what is an actual meeting? What emails should I look for? And this is for the meeting scheduling task. So the goal of that is understanding what actually comes down, what actually what the end result is you're looking for, what the essential piece is, because then you could automate everything around it.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn from you more. Yeah. And I really appreciate the people in my life that have taught me some of these skills or challenged me to dive in on a very basic level, because that's where I wanted to start. Yeah. It's just on a basic level. But
well, you see, the cool thing with surrounding yourself with more successful people is you run into owners that are running $100 million organizations, running companies that are 5x, 10x, 20x your size, and they're normal people, right? They're not buzzing out. They're not picking up. They're no. Realistically, most of the people at a higher level in a bigger company are sitting there calmly. They don't have their phone on them. They have challenges. It's not a challenge-free world, but they know when they're going to have to face them. They have a plan. But it's cool to see, because when I started, it was, and it's easy. And this approach isn't, you can't go into your career and say, I'm going to be essential, because you don't know what essential is, right? If I'm 22 and I tell it myself at 22, work smart, not hard, it's like, that doesn't make sense, because I don't even know what smart is. Like, I need to work hard, and you need to work hard. This is the piece that a lot of people try to avoid, is you need to work really hard until you realize what you're good at, what piece of it you could delegate, what piece of it isn't essential. But if you don't do that initial piece, smart is this theoretical, like, I think this is the way to do it because I read it in a book, not actually did it. And it's working hard first allows you to work smart and essential later.
Yeah. Yeah. And putting in that time up front is really important.
It's incredibly important.
You have to put that time in front. I love what you said. It's so important when you ask people, oh, how you doing? How's your business? Oh, it's busy. So busy's productive, right? Yeah. Well, and I always challenge that, because the word busy to me is just a buzzword.
Yeah. Our team is going to laugh when they watch this,
like, because eliminate that word busy. I don't like that word.
Anybody can steal this. I always say action packed, because action packed is like, it could be good. It can be difficult. It's actually like, people love action packed.
Yeah. I like that too. I like that. And I like saying productive also, because busy to me is vacuuming and cleaning and doing these other things, when did it really?
It has a negative connotation.
Well, it didn't move the needle forward on anything. And the people that I see that say busy, they the people that when I say, not the people, when I say I'm busy, it means I'm not focused. That's what I'll say. And what you said is so important. The people that I know that are worth 7 figures, 8 figures, multiple 8 figures.
Even change it up. They don't need to be worth 8 figures, but the people with the best relationships, the happiest families, the kids that they always see, they're not sitting there on their phone around their kids. Like, they have an idea and a strategy and a mindset, and they're able to tell themselves, when I get home, my phone goes on the charger in her bedroom. And like, it's not even by me. Like, if somebody needs me, it's my wife's there, my daughter's there. Like, nobody else needs me.
Yeah.
And if they do, I'll get back to them. It's focusing on the things that are actually important, the essential pieces.
They move slow.
Yeah.
They're not in a hurry.
Intentionally.
And it is intentional. And they talk less. Think about that. You're talking less. You're moving intentionally. You're slow and steady. You're not in a hurry. Are there times when we're grinding? Of course. Are there seasons to where we're doing more and being less? Absolutely. The goal, though, is to get to the point, I believe, like you said, is write down everything you think is essential, and then really prioritize what truly.
I mean, here's the steps. If you want to do this at home, my friend John Maxwell, the John Maxwell, if you're watching this, thank you, John. He taught me early in my career, sit down and write a have, be, do list. I want to have, I want to be, I want to do. And just like go to town, right? I mean, spend a week on it. It should be at least 20 things deep per list. I want to have, I want to have a nice car, but what car? I want to have a big house. I want to have a happy family. I want to be a good father. I want to ski. Like, right, you write down these things, or I want to do a 1-month vacation every year outside of the US with my family. And you just go to town, write it all down and make it good, right? Be selfish. And then you sit there and you pick the 5 to 10 things that really resonate with you at that moment. And those are your essential things. And then you put them on a list, and that's where you focus, right? So I had a thing on there. I want to run a 10K. And I wrote this down 10 years ago, where I want to have a Tesla, or I want to, one of my big, hairy, audacious goals was I want to be on a board of directors. And I was like, I need to be old with white hair. And that's what it takes to be on a board. And then lo and behold, the Schaumburg Business Association was like, well, you don't need to wait that long to be on the board.
Yes.
And
we don't.
Yes. But those are the things that can help focus you, is write it all down. And then when you see it, your body will know, here's the things that actually matter to me.
Your body will know. What does that mean? Your body will know.
I mean, naturally you'll see the list and be like, oh, well, maybe I don't need a ski every year. Like, that's not as important to me as like being at every one of my kids' sports games.
Okay.
Like, right. Cause you have a choice, right? You could like, okay, well, my kid has a sport like that I need to go to, or I want to go on my yearly ski vacation. I'm going to miss it. That's a really example that most people aren't going to, like, right. You're not going to go on vacation without your family. But if you write it down, you can make those decisions of, here are the things that are the most important to me, and really put in your energy into those things.
Yeah.
And then you'll look back and say, hey, I actually did something this year that I truly valued, that truly meant something, because here was this big, hairy, audacious goal when I was 25, 35, or 45, that when you're 50, you accomplish, you're like, oh my God, we did it. We did this thing.
Yeah. Are we taking notes? Are we writing these things down? Are we going to hit rewind after we watch this show, whether it's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, of course, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook? It's on every platform. This will all be recorded, so we'll all get to go back and learn. Patrick, 1 year from now, when we're sitting here or sitting at a coffee shop or perhaps having sushi.
Yes.
Ooh, at Kaido.
Kaido Sushi.
Oh, let's drop that name. What are we celebrating for you 1 year from now?
We will have successfully moved. My wife and I will have a new home, a happy daughter at 1 year. So she'll be 1 year and 9 months. So grown up, happy, active. We spend time together. Both of our parents are happy, active, and healthy. And Proceed has grown. We have hit our growth metrics. The team has more autonomy, more authority, more opportunity to control where they're going. Our clients are seeing better results than ever in this new changing AI world. We're able to track the results, and we're able to share the results. DialMind has grown, and we're able to impact more businesses through AI call centers and automate, right, the front line. The majority of businesses right now want a personalized approach to picking up their phones, and the majority of businesses let their leads go to voicemail, miss phone calls, pick it up when they're in the car. All of that can be avoided with DialMind and automating your on-call receptionist. And then overall, we should have started with this, right? I'm happy and I'm healthy.
Ooh, it's a
big
good
goals. It's big goals.
And we want big goals. We want to think big. That's the only way to stretch. That's the only way to become the person that we want to be. What does it mean to you to live beyond default?
It's being intentional with your approach to every day, and understanding the days, the weeks, the months will add up. Not every moment has to be perfect, right? If I'm driving in the car for an hour and a half, that might not be a memorable point in my life when I'm 90 years old. But there are points in our life that we are going to remember, and focusing our energy holistically on those, not just phoning it in.
It's a great answer. Anything else you want to share?
No, it's been fantastic. Live from the loft. Episode 99. This has been a journey. What, a year and a half?
It has been a journey. It's been a little longer than that.
First-time caller.
And I've had other podcasts and other shows over the years. Like, I started podcasting actually in 2010. It was like Joe Rogan, Mark Maron, and I have 27 episodes still from like back in the day. Now the show was a little bit different. It wasn't like Dave was a little bit different at the time. But it was it was 2010. It was a cool year. It's been a great decade. It's been a great run, and I look forward to more of it. But more importantly, I just want to say thank you for just opening up and not only sharing so much knowledge about how to do things, but really sharing like what's important to you. Because I saw there was a couple times where you really had to think about it, and you really opened up to us, and that makes a big difference. Like, so many of us know you, but how many of us get the opportunity and the chance to actually sit down like this and have a conversation? And it's not everybody. So thanks, brother. I appreciate you. And thank you for watching this episode of Live Beyond Default live stream. It's episode number 99. Let's focus on less. Let's focus on what truly matters, and let's live beyond default. Till next time, take care of yourself and make it a great week. We'll see you soon. All right.